that whole credit goes to Ali. I think he understands how to bring action that is, like he said, cinematic. It's gritty. It's not, it's not like a amusement park के उसके अंदर एक कोई उड़ रहा है, कुछ हो रहा है. Of course, that also works and there is place for that. But what really excites me is when the action feels very raw and when it feels like it's happening and the way that it's being shot, it feels like you're in the middle of it and you're kind of, it becomes really nice and edgy and sexy. So I think that's what he also wanted to do. And it's also a very interesting combination as a subject of a very character's emotion driven. That's why it's a titular part, because the character is central in the way the story is told. But the ambience and the world that he's a part of, and the stylization of the action and the treatment, so those two things need to go hand in hand in a subject like this. And I really must say that Ali really brought his A game onto this film. We were shooting in very challenging circumstances, and Himanshu right here had to do all the spade work, all the back end work. So really a big round of applause for you, Himanshu. You really made this happen. And I think Ali has a great partner in Himanshu, and they work beautifully together. But just the way he put the whole thing together, it made it very comfortable for me. I think Ali and me have known each other for many, many years. He was actually hadn't debuted as a filmmaker when we kind of worked together. So I've seen him in those days as well. He was waiting to make a movie, and I could see that he has so much ambition and desire and sometimes frustration that, why can't I make a film that I really feel is going to work in today's time? And I feel so proud of him to see how he has come all these years. And now he's married, he has a beautiful family, a beautiful, home, and, he has a little baby now, and that all that has happened in the last year and a half. So I feel like we are kind of in and around from the same time. I think I'm just a couple of years kind of senior to him, if I can say so. But so I just feel like we were both in a space where we could collaborate. Our energies matched really well. I think he's also thinking long term. He's become a man, he's settled, he wants to work a certain way. He doesn't want to compromise on the kind of work that he does. He says, मैं नहीं करूँगा picture. नहीं मैं करूँगा ही नहीं इसका ऐसे सब. So I love that about him, that he doesn't want to compromise. It doesn't matter what kind of film we're making, he wants to give it his best. And he's very alive on the film set, I'm used to doing these films which are very performance oriented. Of course, this is also, but then this has a lot of other things happening as well, right? You can't just put the camera and then expect the actor to act. So, on the first couple of days, I realized I'm not top priority on the set, So he has this guy called Bablu, okay, who is his twin, okay? He is on Steadicam.
Oh,
and
Bablu.
We couldn't have done this film without Bablu. If you guys don't know Bablu, go check him out. He's a rager.
And
but
he used to be an action star earlier, action boy.
I realized I'm the second hero of the film. Because Ali was not interested in what I was doing till Bablu got what he was doing right. After Bablu and Ali were happy, that look at me and said, "नहीं ठीक है, आप जाओ, आप break लो, आप नाश्ता कर लो," But it was a great experience working with Ali, and this is my first action film, and I couldn't have asked for anybody better to do it with.
In fact, glad you spoke about numbers. To set a context, quantifiably, if I were to put a number, that actually number of people who saw Hum Aapke Kaun in 1994 was around 70 million. And then
70 million?
Let's say 7 crore.
7 crore log.
और 2017 में बाहुबली को मेरे ख्याल से 5-5.5 करोड़ लोग ने देखा है. Now, as content creators and as makers, if you are, and if you are talking about a platform जहाँ पे reach आप कह रहे हैं कि 5-6 करोड़ साथ में लोग देख रहे हैं, तो इससे बड़ी चीज़ for any filmmaker or any storyteller, it's the biggest high. And when this film started, especially when we were in the offing of the second wave, and all thanks to our tallest partner Gio and Jyoti, who backed this, that they want to make an immersive, atmospheric action film for a good-looking star, who needs to be seen in a different avatar, and a guy who's known as a director to do such things. It's the biggest high for them to be able to, sort of communicate this language the way they want to do it, for the scale that has been put in. And for the wider reach that we are targeting.
See, the thing is that Indian audience is very, very simple. There is a certain language that the film has, and I'm not only talking about the language जो हम बोलते हैं. It is a cinematic language. Now, to create that language for a platform is different, and to create it for theater where people will buy tickets and come is very different. In this film, it's primarily dealing with drugs. There is gore, there is blood, there is certain language that people is speaking in, and that was very important because that is what that thing grounds those characters in that world. You know, अगर मैं उसके साथ tamper करता, फिर I would not be honest with the content, with the script, and I would have sold myself कि चलो थिएटर में आते हैं. तो शाहिद and I were very very clear कि इस पिक्चर को हम clearly एक OTT प्लेटफॉर्म के लिए बनाते हैं, and let's go 100% realistic on it.
I think that you know, a few years back, the people who were open to change kind of recognized that OTT as a digital platform is going to explode, and the accessibility and comfort of that platform cannot be ignored. It is the reality and it is going to happen. I think we're very fortunate to be in a time where we can divide our energies into separate areas and actually work in two separate areas which are very different from each other. I think watching content at home, you know, in the comfort of your house, till the time you want, stopping it, having a meal, continuing to watch it, is a very personal and a very enjoyable and a very comfortable experience. And going to a film theater to watch a film is more like an event experience where you want to go out with the family, have a good time, you know, maybe go out for dinner, go to the mall, watch a movie, make a day out of it. And both have their place. So I don't see any, you know, I don't see theatre and OTT, I don't see them kind of colliding into each other. I see them coexisting next to each other as two very, very good options. And as filmmakers, as actors, as content creators, we now have more avenues to choose from. I think the challenge for all of us now is to understand that how this has, the entire, you know, ecosystem around us has changed. And we need to adapt and know which content we want to take on which platform or on which, you know, screen size, you know. And that, I think, is what we all need to work towards. So even though a lot of people wanted this film out to be in theaters, in fact, theater exhibitors called us up and spoke to us about it. But we kind of stuck to what we truly had envisioned for this film, which was creating a film which is a big screen experience for the OTT platform. Because I think that is what is happening internationally. Like if you see a film like Irishman, for example, when Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro and you know, that stellar cast, who are actually people who are now in their 60s, 70s and 80s, can recognize that it's time to make that shift as an added option to the fact that you can make movies as well. I think for us younger lot, we better wake up to it, you know.
So because he has a great understanding of movement, dance, for him everything was very, very easy to adapt into. And my action directors and most of the team which has shot action is all international. And when they looked at him and when he used to come for the rehearsal, they used to be like, wow, he knows his beats, he understands, he has a process of understanding. And 99% of the action that you see in the film is real hand-to-hand, and he's done it all. That's a different thing, that he lost a lot of weight doing the film because action really trains you.
नहीं यार, it's damn difficult with 1.5-2 दिन में. And also this is a film we shot very fast.
Yes.
If you know how many days we shot this film, you'll fall down. Only this guy, I don't know how he did it. We have shot this film in 36 days.
What?
36 days we have shot this film.
Because this is the only way we could make the film.
Because he didn't want to compromise on the scale of the film, so he just cut down the number of days. And that's why he's saying that it was intense.
We were jamming after Kabir Singh. He called me and he said, Ali, kuch karte hain saath mein. We were talking about a sports film together. Then when I got Bloody Daddy actually is an adaptation of a French film, okay, which is called Sleepless Night. I saw the film. Sunir actually, Khetrapal, who I think right now is in Cannes because he's more glamorous than us, called me and said, yaar, ek mere paas picture hai, tu please banayega. So I saw the film and I really liked the film. And why I liked the film is because it was like a trip, you know, an action film which is relentless, moving really fast. But you know, when you do a remake, you know, what is very important is that you need to find a zameen for that film. You need to find a land. And I was very clear कि अगर मैं इस फिल्म को दिल्ली गुड़गांव में set करूँगा ना, तो मुझे एक ज़मीन बहुत अच्छी मिलेगी. And the film is set in the time of COVID. So the COVID line in the film is not a joke. It is set in the time of second wave. And when I was happy with the adaptation, I could only see one actor in that role because the original actor in the film is a brilliant actor and he has a lot of intensity in his eyes. So I said, there is no other actor who can justify this role apart from Shahid, because I just feel he is an actor star, which is a great combination. Whether you see Heather, whether you see Jab We Met, whether you see even Kabir Singh, his characters penetrate more than his stardom, which is a very good thing. So I said, मुझे एक एक्टर चाहिए जो ये 2 घंटे की फिल्म को, एक रात की कहानी को होल्ड कर पाए. And then everything in the film is designed to him. Whether it's an action, whether it's the writing of the film, whether it's the intensity of the film, everything is, it's a headline film. It's like Bloody Daddy Shahid Kapoor, you know. So सब कुछ उस किरदार से निकल के आया, you know. And that is why I think when people are finding it new age and लोगों को लग रहा है and they're drawing comparison, it's new because a new star is doing an action in a new way, which is believable, which is raw, which is rustic. मतलब यहाँ ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ विलेन पिटता है, यहाँ हीरो भी पिटता है और हीरो को चोट भी लगती है और दर्द भी होता है, which is more the reality of the situation.
यार मैंने तो कबीर सिंह की मेरे लाइफ की सबसे बड़ी हिट है, वो अडल्ट फिल्म थी. ये सब ज्ञान जो अभी आप बोल रहे हो, these words that this dark and this and that, सब बोला था लोगों ने कि बहुत लिमिटेड होगा, but it turned out to be the biggest success of my life. So I think we should think fresh, है ना. Let's start from the beginning. Let's all tell ourselves हमें कुछ नहीं पता है, जो हमें पता है वो पहले के लिए रेलेवेंट था, अब नई चीज़ें हो रही हैं. ऑडियंस क्या देखना चाहती है ये उनसे पूछते हैं ना, हम पहले ही डिसाइड कर लेते हैं. वो सही नहीं है. हम डिसाइड कर लेते हैं कि यार ये फिल्म तो इधर ही आएगी, वो फिल्म तो लेट्स रीलर्न, लेट्स बिकम स्टूडेंट्स अगेन, लेट्स बी ओपन टू द फैक्ट दैट वी डोंट नो एवरीथिंग एंड द थिंग्स दैट वी ग्रू अप काइंड ऑफ थिंकिंग can change, which is what Ali started by saying, that cinema is growing and post COVID we're in a different phase. So I don't think anything flies anymore. If your product is fantastic and if you've made it correctly, you put it out nicely, it will find its audience. This year I debuted on OTT with Farzi. Trust me, the amount of love I got, जो अली कह रहा था ना कि जो प्यार आपको महसूस होता है, जो आपको सामने से मिलता है, अब तो ऑनलाइन भी पता चलता है आपको. अब तो यूट्यूब पे मैं जितने भी यहाँ पे लोग हैं जो वीडियोस बनाते हैं ना 15 सेकंड वाले, 30 सेकंड रिव्यूज़, मैं सब देखता हूँ. ओके, तो देयर इज़ नो वे दैट यू कैन हाइड. एवरीबडी विल से व्हाट दे वांट टू से अबाउट योर प्रोडक्ट. कई लोग अपना मुंह छुपा के बोलते हैं, कई लोग मुंह दिखा के बोलते हैं, बट बोलते सब हैं, है ना. सो यू कैन नॉट रन अवे फ्रॉम दैट. That is the reality of life, and I feel that a good film is a good film is a good film, a bad film is a bad film is a bad film, an average film is an average film. Everybody steps into a viewing experience with a certain expectation. Either you meet their expectation or you don't, and on certain really fortunate days you exceed their expectation. And that's pretty much what it is, according to me.